Hello, everyone. We are now in week 5, and so well over halfway. Everybody had midterms, and I'm in the process of grading those, so I will get those back to you as soon as possible. Speaking of the midterm, I wanted to let you know that for those of you who are in my financial accounting class, you know that one of the things I do at midterm is to allow you to correct your midterm for partial credit back. So I'm going to give that same opportunity this time. So when you get your midterms back, you will have as soon as I finish grading them, I'll set a date as to when they're due because I want to give you ample time to get it back. So it probably won't be due until, my guess is, a week from this Sunday. So I will set that date in stone for you and make sure that I get everything to you. I just want to make sure that, I'm getting you your midterms back in time for you to correct those. So at any rate, just go through just like you did in my financial accounting class. And for those that weren't, all I ask is that you go back, you take a look, because you'll be provided an answer key. And so you'll basically go back, look at what you did wrong, tell me in words out next to the problem what you did wrong, okay, and how to correct it. Okay, so you have to explain it in words, and then you have to show me the correct way to get the answer. Okay. Well, no, not so much because you'll have that, but I need to know what you did wrong, your thought process, and how to do it correctly, and why the way that you're now explaining is correct. This is a learning opportunity. Okay. The reason that I do this in every class is for you to learn from the mistakes that you've made, and so that hopefully you can go through and then learn from those, learn the correct way to do, the accounting problems that we're working with, and carry it forward to your final. The people that take this opportunity and take advantage of it and really put forth the effort actually wind up understanding the material a lot better, and they do quite well on the final. So just make sure you're taking that opportunity. Again, this class is up to you, and you put in the effort, and your grade will reflect the effort that you put in. Okay, so just make sure that you're trying to really understand it. If you have questions, if you don't understand what you did wrong, don't hesitate to reach out. We can go over stuff on these webinars. I cannot help you, though, if you don't ask questions. Okay. And so I want to make sure that you are asking the right questions, asking questions to help you understand, okay? So just make sure that you're doing that, because we can't get to the final week and have you say, well, I don't understand any of this, and then turn in, 3 problems out of 10 or 14, whatever's on the final. Okay, that's not going to work, and it's not going to allow you to pass the class. So, so we just need to make sure that we're working through this together, and I just want to make sure that you all know that I am here to help you and here to answer those questions. Okay. So again, extra credit opportunity, you get half your points that you missed back if you correct your midterm exam and give me in words, what you did wrong, how to do it correctly, and, then show me that you can work it out correctly. Okay? All right. Any questions? Kim, is there anything I missed? Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. Moving on We only have one question for Module 5, and that is on the practice problem that's in the PowerPoint for the product pricing, this M817. Basically, it's asking you to, can you still hear me? Okay, because it's telling me my audio is lost, so I'm just trying to make sure. Okay. Let me know, Kim, if you can't hear me, if I start breaking up or anything like that, okay? Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, all right. Sorry, it's telling me I was having audio connection issues, so it's on my end. Not sure why, but let me know if you can't hear me, okay? Okay. All right, so for M8-17, it's talking about finding the variable administrative expense. And so this is in the PowerPoint, right? So one of the things that you have to look at in this PowerPoint and in the problem itself is the fact that, you know, you've got your fixed costs totaling $8 million, right? So if you're getting variable administrative expenses, you've got to figure out all of the other pieces to the puzzle. And this is the part where, you know, your algebra teacher becomes right, that you know, would at some point in your life use algebra, because this is a basic algebra problem, okay, where you're solving for x, okay? So, sorry, but this is the problem, and it's just basically solving the puzzle, right? So you've got $8 million, of which $3 million is for administrative selling efforts, okay? So administrative selling costs, basically. And sales are anticipated to be 800,000 cases for the year. Okay, the variable costs for processing are $20 per case. The variable selling expense is 25% of that selling price. There are no variable administrative costs, okay? So we've got to figure out, if they want a $5 million profit, what is the selling price per case, right? So if that's the case, then we take the $5 million profit, so you've got to set up your equation here, okay? So it's profit equals revenue minus cost, right? Makes sense? Same thing that's on the income statement. Is that okay? Okay, so you've got the $5 million profit, okay? Because we know that, they gave it to us. We know that there's going to be revenues 800,000 times X, okay, in revenue, all right? And we know that we've got an $8 million fixed cost, okay? 800,000 units times $20 for the variable, right? So you're going to multiply those two together. And then 25% of the selling and administrative costs, okay, of the 800,000 times X, okay? So that's our equation, because we've got to figure out, you know, what X is, basically, okay? So now we're just going to work it down. We're going to do our order of operations, okay? So the first thing we do is take anything in parentheses and multiply it, right? So this is where you got to remember order of operations. So 800,000 times 20 is 16 million, okay? And then you're going to add that to that 8 million. That's where they come up with the 24. And then the 25% of the 800,000 X is 200,000. So a quarter of that 800,000 is 200,000 X, okay? So now we've got that. Now we're just going back and solving the rest of this equation. So the 24 million gets brought over here and added, right? So this is where we're doing that algebra, solving for X. So the 24 million gets brought over here and added, and so you've got 29 million. And then 800,000x minus 200,000x is going to be 600,000x. Okay? So now we're solving for x. We're dividing this into this. Okay? So x is then going to equal $48.33 per case. Can you hear me now? Kim, can you hear me? Okay. Okay, good. My audio is going in and out. Does this make more sense? Okay. All right. So do you have any other questions for me? Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?